Everyone knew that Vaughn was a cold-blooded killer, but no one knew that Durk was a whole mafia boss who was ordering hits and flying out gang members in private planes. Footage of a murder they took part in is going viral on social media, and what has been uncovered will shock you. Vaughn and Durk cause mayhem in the streets. And I'm about to show you how dangerous they were. Murder footage goes viral. Durk has a lot on his plate at the moment. One of the things keeping him awake in his cell is the fact that the feds have video footage of his crimes. The feds have footage of Duro's goons following Quando Rondo around in Laos. What's even more damning is that the feds also have footage of OTF members committing the murder they are accused of. But that's not the only footage that is going viral, because he was also involved in a murder with B that was caught on camera. This is the murder of FBG Duck. In August 2020, FBG Duck was shot and killed at Michigan Avenue and East Oak Street in the Gold Coast area of Chicago. CCTV footage showed a black car stop in front of a store, and armed men jump out and immediately start letting off shots as Duck tries to escape in vain. They then jump back in the black vehicle, and a gray Chrysler, which was also involved in the crime, sped away, leaving Duck to die. More footage showed the gray Chrysler pulling up to a block with a cop car in pursuit. New evidence, as well as old interviews, point to Durk and Vaughn for ordering and paying all-block gang members to carry out the hit. Just days before his arrest, Durk was caught up in a lawsuit filed by Lena Weekly, FBG Duck's mother, who took a bold step by filing a lawsuit against Lil Durk, his record label, Only the Family, and the estate of King Von. The lawsuit alleges that these parties not only condone, but also profit from the violence that led to her son's death. Central to the lawsuit is the claim that King Vo, who was killed just 3 months after FBG Duck, had placed a $100,000 bounty on Duck's life. The civil suit against Durk also claims Alamo Records, Sony Music Entertainment, Universal Music Group Recordings, and Empire Distribution are responsible for bankrolling the OTF criminal enterprise. According to the complaint, the music companies knowingly signed artists with gang ties, promoted diss tracks threatening FBG Duck's life, and profited from the deadly rivalry. After the lawsuit went public, IO tried to clear his name by holding a birthday bash concert in Chicago, where he did something surprising. He paid tribute to all the people who had lost their lives in the Chicago gang war, including Lil Jojo and FBG Duck, who were his ops. FBG Duck's mom, Len Weekly, was having none of it and took to Instagram to respond, posting, "It didn't matter to nobody but us when Duck did it." Duck's mom was referring to 2019 when Duck tried to bring the gangs together through his track Chicago Legends. However, his ops didn't want a truce and continued dissing and shooting at Duck and his affiliates. Duck responded with one of the most brutal diss tracks in the Chicago gang war, Dead Bit, where he dissed his ops and their dead homies. In the track, Duck raps made Chicago Legends that was just about business, said, "I wasn't going to diss the dead, and okay, I did it, but T-Roy and Odie them dead." As it turns out, this track would see a bounty placed on his head and eventually get him killed. As the weeks turned into months, the police worked tirelessly piecing together surveillance footage, eyewitness accounts, and social media. At TV, the breakthrough came when investigators discovered a digital breadcrumbs trail linking the crime to the A-Block gang social media posts boasting about the attack, coupled with video evidence that placed suspects at the scene, began to paint a damning picture. In one of the most bizarre cases of self-snitching, the gang allowed a vlogger, Panda Productions, into their stronghold. Interestingly, viewers easily pointed out in the comment section that they could spot the car that had been used in Duck's murder. One of O-Block's gang members, Boss Top, was asked about Duck, and he might have gotten a little bit cocky and revealed that they had killed Duck because of dissing King Von's best friend and dead.
Stir up nothing, but you got any thoughts on FBG Duck? Any thoughts on him? Did you know him?
Who, Duck?
Did you know him before? Everything?
Like that. I don't know. On game. All I know, don't say about Troy or rest in peace, Duck.
It wasn't long before 5 of the 6 shooters involved in the case were in handcuffs. On October 13, 2021, the feds raided Ook and arrested 5 men for Duck's murder. These were Charles Liggins, aka KAC Murder, Kenneth Robertson, aka Kenny, Mac DeCarlos Offord, aka Loss, Christopher Thomas, aka C-Thing, and Marcus Smart, aka Mewup. The 5 were charged with murder, unlawful use of firearms, racketeering, and assault with dangerous weapons. The charges carried a mandatory minimum of life upon conviction. Turns out, there was a rat in Oblock working with the feds who revealed that the one who paid for the hit rewarded the killers with custom-made O-Block chains. Things were falling into place as a video surfaced on YouTube of King Von giving O-Block members custom-made chains. But this is where it gets interesting because Durk might have been the one who paid for FBG Duck's death. According to FBG, Butterby didn't pay O-Block guys for Duck's murder. I don't think Van paid them guys. I'm sorry. To tell the world to know who actually paid the Ook gang members to kill FBG, Duck Butter revealed that you have to look at the suspect's arrest footage. It turns out Mupin C. Murder weren't arrested in Oblock.
I don't think Von paid them guys. I'm sorry to tell the world. The arrest video coming out from when they got arrested for this Duck case.
Yeah.
They ain't show Muwak or C. Murders happened. Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar.
It turns out Durk could be the one who paid for Duck's murder. And just like Butter was snitching on him in a Vlad interview months before his arrest, it seems there was also a rat in his camp because the feds have him in 4K paying for Quando Rondo's murder. Lil Durk caught in 4K drill. Rappers need to start to moving different because it be their own people that be telling on them. Now the world knows that Durk was caught in 4K because one of his homies wore a wire around him. Another OTF members' court documents talk about a dude named OTF Jam, a trusted member of the crew, who played a crucial role in the investigation. Jam, who had been released from prison in 2022 after serving 12 years for attempted murder, was identified as an informant who had been cooperating with authorities for years. His decision to wear a wire and provide information to law enforcement was one hell of a backstabbing move, according to the indictment. Jam's recordings and the information he provided were key in linking Durk to the murder-for-hire plot. What's crazy is that Durk considered him a brother. During Jam's 12-year incarceration for attempted murder, Durk stood by him, providing financial support and ensuring that Jam's needs were met. This included covering legal fees, purchasing a house and car, and giving him more than $50,000 in cash.
Yeah, you 50, bro. You know
Oh,
what I'm
facts.
Facts.
More than that. Everybody more than that. Shit.
But so, can you tell us how much he gave you, or you don't want to even?
No, we ain't gotta get into all that, but bro made sure he made a way for me to be straight.
Well, OTF Jam's revelations to the cops started with the tragic events of November 6, 2020, after King Val was killed outside an Atlanta nightclub. The altercation began as a physical fight between Val and Quando Rondo, escalating into gunfire when a member of Rondo's entourage allegedly shot Vaughn multiple times, resulting in his death. For Lil Durk, the death of his friend was a catalyst for further beef towards Quando. Rumors began to circulate that Durk had placed a bounty on Rondo's head. According to court documents, OTF Jam told cops that after Vaughn's death, Durk used coded language to tell OTF members that he would pay a bounty to anyone who would take part in killing Quando Rondo. Durk's cousin DeAndre Wilson also told OTF members that anyone who took part in the murder would be rewarded with lucrative music opportunities with OTF. The first time Quando Rondo almost lost his life was back in 2021 in Georgia. The night before the shooting, Quando had performed at a nightclub, which was a short drive away from what would become the crime scene. After the performance, Quando and his team departed from the club and made a brief stop at a convenience store in Blackshear, Georgia. According to law enforcement sources, it was during this stop that gunfire erupted, targeting the rapper and his team. It is believed that Quando Rondo was present at the scene when the gunfire began, although he was not there when authorities arrived. One member of Rondo's entourage was injured in the attack, sustaining a gunshot wound to the hand. By August 2022, the situation reached a boiling point. According to federal court records, Lil Durk's associates allegedly learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. This information was used to ambush and eliminate Quando Rondo in the heart of Los Angeles. Lil Durk's associates, DeAndre Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and Asa Houston, arrived in Los Angeles. They had traveled from Chicago to San Diego and then driven to Los Angeles, allegedly using funds provided by Durk himself. Upon their arrival, the OTF members met with Con Grant, a top associate who had flown to Los Angeles on a private jet. Grant played a crucial role in facilitating the operation, securing hotel accommodations for the group, purchasing ski masks, and obtaining 2 luxury sedans to be used in the ambush, according to court records. Grant also provided Jones Lindsay and an unidentified man with firearms as the day unfolded. The group allegedly began tracking Quando Rondo around Los Angeles in a Cadillac Escalade. The climax of the day's events occurred at a gas station across from the Beverly Center, a bustling area in the heart of Los Angeles here. Asa Houston allegedly parked his car strategically behind the station, setting the stage for the ambush. As Quando Rondo and Robinson stopped at the gas station, Jones Lindsay and the unidentified man reportedly exited and opened fire, unleashing a hail of bullets in an attempt to kill Quando. Tragically, his cousin LPAB, who was standing outside the Escalade, was struck and killed in the gunfire, while Rondo miraculously escaped unharmed. In the aftermath of the attempted ambush, the suspects regrouped at an In-N-Out hamburger stand where they allegedly discussed payment with Con Grant. The group then made their way back to Chicago, flying from San Diego, as authorities began piecing together the details of the brazen attack. As it turns out, Durk isn't the only rapper who's had close friends snitch on them. One of his industry besties, Young Thug, is in the middle of a RICO case that has seen many people, including his brother, one of his best friends, and his hitman, turn on. One of the first people to turn on Thugger was one of his former closest associates that he had had a falling out with. Rich Homie Quan. Leaked audio surfaced in 2023 as evidence of Quan snitching, and it wasn't looking good for Quan. In the video, he can be heard speaking to an unidentified man whom many suspect is a Fed. The video was not the only thing that leaked, as the interrogation documents also found their way onto the internet at one point. In the leaked audio, Rich Homie Quan says that whoever shot up his dad's shop had something to do with the death of Big Nut, who is among the people who Thug is accused of killing. Young Thug is charged with renting a 2014 silver Infiniti sedan, which was used during the murder of Big Nut. Whoever shot my dad's shop up had something to do with Nut getting murdered. Bro, I just know it, Quan said. In the leaked audio, court videos have revealed that Thug's hitman, Resell Woody, shot up Quan's dad's barbershop, me and show out Rich Homan D. Bearer's shop on Bank. Young Thug's sister, Dora Williams, also reacted to the news of Rich Homie Quan allegedly snitching. She took to her Instagram to blast the rapper for being a hypocrite. The fact I went to Rich Homie Quan Con, he said, free Thug so many times, come to find out you got a whole 30-minute recording telling damn. She posted. Quan denied the snitching allegations and even offered $1 million to anyone who would provide concrete evidence that he told on Thug. During an Instagram live, a fan asked the rapper whether he snitched. His reaction was priceless. Did I snitch? Rich Homie Quan remarked during the Instagram live session. My name ain't in no paperwork, bro. Suck my did you suck one this morning. Get you out of body. Young man, did I snitch? Go find my name in some paperwork, bro, and I'll give you $1 million. We can trade lives on God. But Quan wasn't the only one close to Thug accused of snitching. One of the most publicized confessions was by Young Thug's brother Unfunk, whose real name is Quantavious Greer, took a plea deal, adding another twist to this already sensational story. According to local reports, Unfunk entered a negotiated guilty plea on one count of violating Georgia's RICO Act and a count of theft by reception of stolen property. The plea agreement resulted in a 12-year sentence, with 2 years being commuted to time served and the remaining 10 years on probation. Unfunk took to Instagram stories to address the rumors circulating about his plea deal. He expressed his frustration, stating, "Damn, people really think I told on my own brother, shaking my head. Show me in my paperwork. I told on anybody. Next on the list was Thug's best friend in the industry, Gunner. And just like Quan, there was video evidence."
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
When this video was leaked, the industry was ablaze, with people calling Gunna a rat. Gunna immediately went on the defense. His lawyers even took to Instagram to deny the rumors that Gunna had snitched. Gunner did not snitch to get out of jail. The post read he has said nothing and is not cooperating. His polio statement cannot be used in court against any other defendant. Even Lil Durk spoke on Gunner and called him a rat.
Believe that Gunner told.
Man, I don't sit up and play games, man. That man told. You should have went in there and kept your mouth closed.
Would you play Gunner in the club?
Would I play Gunner in the club?
Yeah.
No.
Despite being snitched on, Durk has always kept it a buck for his homies and has always slid for them. But sometimes innocent lives are caught in the crosshairs, from having his brother's killers murked to ordering the death of an informant's baby mama. Durk doesn't play around Times L. Durk slid for his homies when L. Durk's brother D-Thing was murked on a Sunday morning outside a strip club in South Suburban Harvey on June 7, 2021. There's no doubt that he was going to go after his ops. There was rumor that dude named Stephen Mack was responsible for Dang's death, so Lil Durk put a bounty on his head. And on January 7, 2022, Mack was gunned down at the Youth Peace Center of Rosend, located at 420 West 111th Street in Cho, Chicago. Soon, two men, Anthony Montgomery Wilson and Preston Powell, were indicted with murder for hire. According to court documents, Montgomery Wilson and Powell, along with other unidentified accomplices, allegedly conspired to execute Mack in exchange for money. On that day, as Mack exited the Youth Peace Center, gunmen emerged from a vehicle and opened fire, leaving him fatally wounded. A security guard was also injured in the attack, but survived. Montgomery Wilson and Powell were charged with conspiracy to use an interstate facility in the commission of a murder for hire. Additionally, Montgomery Wilson faced an individual murder for hire count and a gun charge. Evidence presented by the prosecution includes photos from the U.S. Attorney's Office allegedly showing him pursuing the victim with a firearm. Meanwhile, Preston Powell remains a fugitive, with law enforcement agencies actively seeking his arrest. And while Powell is on the run, it seems like one other person that Durk paid to murk a victim was also caught. As it turns out, Durk had found out that OTF Jim had been wearing a wire around him, and OTF members having betrayed not just Durk, but the whole gang. It was up to Durk to get revenge. However, they could murk someone working with the feds, so they went after his family. And that's how OTF Jam's baby mother, Octavia Redmond, was murdered on the 19th of July, 2024. She worked as a postal worker in the West Pullman neighborhood of Chicago. That day, at approximately noon, Octavia was in front of a Chicago home preparing to deliver mail when a stolen SUV pulled up nearby. The suspect, a 15-year-old boy, exited the SUV, approached Octavia, and shot her multiple times at close range, leaving her critically injured on the ground. The suspect, meanwhile, fled the scene in the stolen SUV. The 48-year-old woman was taken to Christ Hospital in critical condition, where she was later pronounced dead at the hospital in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. The Chicago Police Department launched an intensive investigation to track down the suspect. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service also became involved, offering a substantial reward for information, leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible. They took to their X account, where they announced a $250,000 prize for information, leading to the arrest and conviction of the suspect responsible for the homicide. As the investigation unfolded, authorities utilized footage from police and private cameras to trace the suspect's movements before and after the shooting. The stolen SUV was identified, and an anonymous tip provided crucial information that helped identify the suspects. Finally, the suspect was located in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and arrested on a murder warrant. But getting revenge for his crew isn't the only time he slid for his homies, because he is also suspected of ordering the death of FBG Cash for disrespecting Vaughn's mural. When King Bao was killed, Cash decided to take a photo next to the mural showing his middle finger. However, instead of having kind words for the deceased rapper, he captioned the post saying, "Whole world witnessed your main sniper get his splat." This stunt did not go down well with V's guys, and especially with V's best friend, Lil Durk. Lil Durk decided to stick up for V by warning Cash in his song Computer Murderers, where he raps sneaking pics by Vaughn. Mural like Lil Bro won't come out, and Spin Cash even started trolling his ops in interviews. In one interview, he was asked about his infamous stunt at King Von's mural. He responded by saying that Lil Durk had told him to do